What's good, nerds? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Movie Mass. I am Brother Jay, the movie monk, the Bishop of Bull Moose, the Vicar of Vinegar Syndrome, the Criterion Choir Boy, the Archbishop of Arrow, the Abbot of Arrow, the Abbot of all of them. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to my congregation in my basement. It's all like a cult. If I hand out Kool-Aid instead of beer, that's the night we're offing ourselves. Can I say that on YouTube? I feel like I can't say that on YouTube. Anyway, sorry, YouTube. I am here today to discuss with you an important matter of some concern. It was subscriber week very recently. At least it feels very recent. I mean, what is it? Gosh, it's already what? Tail end of January. I mean, we're 3 weeks deep. We are 3 weeks deep. Weeks represented by fingers here. We are 3 fingers deep into January, and that's wild. And so obviously the subscriber packages have been going out into the world. People have been receiving their Vinegar Syndrome box, and I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people who got their Vinegar Syndrome box. So I thought that I would start this video of grave importance. This is a gravely important video, but I thought I would at least start out easy. I would ease my way into this topic of grave importance by just, opening up this nice little box. We got the nice little, let me put my finger over the address. We got the nice little tape. I don't want any of you weirdos showing up unannounced. I mean, if you DM me beforehand, feel free. I'll send you an invite, but unannounced, I don't know. I could be on top of the wife. You never know. Anyway, gotta love these boxes because they put the tape on the side here, and the way they open, it's impossible to spy and slash your goods. Now, I will forewarn you guys, and I believe I mentioned it in an earlier video, I did not go out of control ordering things. Granted, there were plenty of items in the daily deals that I could have certainly purchased. The nesting, I was very tempted by the nesting when that hit the daily deals. Mind benders for $13 or $14, whatever that was. That was another one that was quite tempting at that price point. But I stood my ground. I stood firm. It was like no nut November, but even better, because I usually don't make it very far in November at all, like the second or the third. I had some discipline. I had some fortitude during the subscriber sale, so I don't really have a lot to show you here, just a couple of items, but that's okay, because I'm not really here to do a Vinegar Syndrome unboxing, right? I mean, it's happening, but that's not why I sat down in this chair this evening and put my shirt back on. Anyway, as per usual, things are wrapped impeccably. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome, for taking such good care of my items. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure it happens, but I have never once received anything from Vinegar Syndrome that was in less than pristine condition. So I'm sure it happens, right? USPS is a thing, but Vinegar Syndrome usually does such a good job wrapping these items that it's not usually an issue. The box, the paper, the bubble wrap, at least you're getting what you paid for, because shipping went up $2 this year, as I mentioned in a previous video. So at least take care of my stuff. Now, the first thing I got to show you is made in Hong Kong, but it's not the one that you're thinking. This is the one that came out like, I don't know, 3 years ago. This came out, I think, this came out in January of 2023. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm fairly certain this came out in 2023. Is there anything on the back of here that's bad? Oh, yeah, well, I don't know if I could show you the back of this, actually. I almost showed you the back of this, but I'm not sure I can. There's some boobies on the back of this, so I'm just gonna, I'll do that. I'll cover up the boobies. There's the back. It's got some Chinese on it and some boobies, and I dare not show you the boobies. This is one of those packages where it comes in a rigid slipcase, but there's like another slipcover inside of it, and the movie is inside of that. So it's like doubled up. That will be relevant. I mentioned that because it will be relevant to the grave and important topic that I am here to discuss. And we got a nice little booklet that came with that as well. I do enjoy and appreciate the booklets. I am an avid reader. I do love reading. I am going to need my glasses to read that tiny, tiny print, but yeah, I'm always glad to read about some of these movies. And sometimes it's the more obscure films, like the ones in this set, that are the most fun to read about because there's something to learn, I think, about these and seeing what other people's opinions are and such. So, yeah, I grabbed Made in Hong Kong Volume 1, mostly spurred on by the release of Made in Hong Kong Volume 2, and there were about 24 of these bad boys left. So I had to do what I had to do, right? The FOMO kicked in. I felt it. It came over me like a fever. And I'm not even ashamed about it. I don't, that should be on E right now, actually. It should not be on F. It should be on E. Anyway, the next thing I got here to show y'all, and I'm not going to be able to pop it out because they're like cellophane wrapping their shit now, and that is Ghostkeeper. I was a bit disappointed that this was not released in 4K. Let me try and get this right so the light's not hitting it and you can properly see that slipcover. They're wrapping all their shit in cellophane now. See that? I know you hear that. Vinegar Syndrome didn't used to put the cellophane on the outside of the slipcover, so you could at least take the movie out and see what the artwork was like on the inside. I like to check out the inside, but I'm not going to unwrap this. I'm too lazy. I was a little disappointed that Ghostkeeper was not a 4K. This has been released previously on Blu-ray, and I'm hearing people say that this transfer is a lot better than that old Blu-ray. I think it was a code red, and so this is an upgrade of something that was out of print, that was difficult to get. This limited edition sold out already. That was quick. It took them about 2 days to sell this out. I think it took them about 36 to 48 hours to sell out the limited edition of Ghostkeeper, despite it being a Blu-ray. So sort of a lateral move, like Blu-ray to Blu-ray, although I am hearing that this transfer, particularly in the color grading, is better. I don't have a basis of comparison. I don't have the old Code Red Blu-ray, so I'm really not going to have any way to evaluate that particular claim unless I see some screenshots online, like side-by-side comparisons, which I may look for once I've seen the film. I don't want to be spoiled, so I'm going to watch the movie. I've never seen it. It's a blind buy for me. I'm going into it completely blind. And I also, because this is a New Year's Eve film, and they should have dropped this during Partners Month. If they'd gotten this out in December, and this had been in my hot little hands around the 20th of December, then I could have watched this for New Year's of 2025. Now, I got to sit on this for like 11 more months. Can you fucking believe that? Anyway, I'm sick in the head. I know a lot of people are just going to pop in and watch it, and they don't care that it's New Year's Eve. I got to wait till New Year's of 2026. I hope I live that long. Last thing I got, this is the third and final thing that I picked up this month, and it was because this was selling even faster than Ghostkeeper. This sold out in 2 hours. And someone on Reddit may one day argue with me about that fact, as they have about the speed with which the original slipcover of Hundreds of Beavers sold out. People on Reddit have argued with me, but I was there, I know. I watched it sell out in 32 minutes. This took closer to 2 hours to sell out. And that is The Great Silence. Another blind buy for me. This is another one that I know next to nothing about, but I heard nothing but good things. This one is in 4K, and I heard nothing but good things, and so I just snapped it up. I do love a snowy Western movie. This is a kind of a wintry Western, maybe sort of akin to Jeremiah Johnson has copious winter scenes, and so it's one that I do feel comfortable checking this one out. Later on this month, it is quite snowy here in Maine currently. It even snowed a little bit this evening while I was out with my children, taking them out so they can play at the play place and get some of that energy out. And I am, in celebration, I am drinking Ice Storm right here. This is Baxter. This is a local Maine brewery. Ice Storm. This is a New England IPA, but it is the best winter beer I have been able to locate. It's the best winter seasonal that I've had, like, ever. And so this is the time of year. Good stuff. So that's what I got from Vinegar Syndrome. I think, for me at least, that was really reasonable, kind of keeping it in check. Now, the grave and important thing that I wanted to discuss today is the new label releases, which I did not purchase one of the new label releases. The Iconoscope releases, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark and The Veil, are the two releases under the Iconoscope sub-label currently. I'm sure there's many more to come. Although I did hear a rumor online, so it's just a rumor and it's from the internet, so this is the same place I go for porn, so take this with a grain of salt. But I did hear that it would be another couple of months actually before they dropped another Iconoscope on us. So do not hold your breath for more Iconoscope is the rumor that I heard. It may be a few more months. I think maybe even like April or May. It might be a little while before we get another Iconoscope release. So unlike cinematograph, which is very plentiful, so the cinematographs seem to come every single month, sometimes two a month, this Iconoscope label is probably going to be more like VSU. At least this is what I'm hearing. So it's going to be like several per year, but definitely not every single month. And there might be a month or two in between Iconoscope releases. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes as it goes. But the important thing I think that people are now noticing about Iconoscope as they're receiving their releases is that there's a little bit of an issue with the packaging that I thought I'd bring to your attention. Now, again, I don't own any Iconoscope titles, so I don't know firsthand. I've seen pictures and a little bit of video from some of my homeboys on the internet. My wife thinks I'm very cool. I have homeboys on the internet. Anyway, the releases are very similar to the VSAs. This is a VSA for the Iron Angels. And so the VSAs are bottom loading, right? So, you know, you slide the movie out from the bottom of the VSA. You have a upper kind of slipcase. It's a very rigid slipcase, and then the disc, and if there are materials, they slip out together. Now, as you can see, the disc, there's no other slipcover. With the Iconoscope, there is now a slipcover around the film, kind of like with these sliding slipcases. With the sliding slipcases, you've got the rigid slipcase, and then inside it, you've got the movie inside yet another slipcover. So, you know, you got to like take the thing out of two, you know, remove it from the slipcase and then take the slipcover off, then open the thing up, get your disc and put it in. And that's sort of how the new Iconoscope packaging is designed, with one difference. It is a side slipcover. I have a copy of the Criterion Police Story that is a slipcover, but it's a horizontal slipcover. So see how it slides out of either side, but it doesn't slide out the bottom or the top. So the slipcover is a basic O card, just like, you know, your more standard slipcover. You kind of expect the slipcover to be open at the top and at the bottom for you to slide the movie out, but closed on the sides. What you got with Police Story here and with the Iconoscopes is you have this annoying O card that's open on the left and the right sides. Let me just say, I despise this. I think this is ridiculous. I think, you know, this slipcover model works so much better, where it slides out the top, it slides out the bottom. Otherwise, I find myself tenting this thing so I can stick one of my fat digits in there and slide this thing out. Only I don't want to damage this slipcover because I'm insane and I have to have pristine slipcovers on all my shit. I can't be sticking my fingers in the slipcover, right? It's not your sister. I can't go sticking my fingers in there, you know what I'm saying? Oh, can you tell I grew up on a lot of Andrew Dice Clay? Anyway, so the big issue that I'm raising is not just that you've got a slipcover inside of a VSA-style slipcase, and that slipcover is annoyingly side opening, side venting, horizontal instead of vertical. That's annoying, yes, but I think what's more injurious about the new packaging is that it's just fucking impossible to get out. There's just no way to get this thing out. What people are resorting to is actually opening the top flap and pushing the thing down. And according to Vinegar Syndrome, in manufacturing, there is a slight vacuum effect of that slipcover inside the slipcase, and that vacuum effect making it difficult to remove your movie from the bottom as you would with a normal style VSA. Now, the normal style VSAs, Iron Angels is okay, but sometimes these are like hot dog down a hallway anyway. This is like, see how that just kind of slides out? Like gravity just takes over. You want gravity to help you out, but not totally take over. That was like banging the Octomom right there. Everything just slid right out. She had no idea it was even in there. We now have the opposite problem with the Iconoscope, is that they're just too tight, right? You're not getting anything out of there, and that's a problem when you want to watch your movies. I think what I really would like to see Vinegar Syndrome do is just take the slip cover, put it inside the slip case, Holy fuck, I'm retarded. Is it in yet? Is it in yet? I don't even remember what I was saying. Put the slipcover inside the slipcase, and then put the slipcase inside one of those VSU magnet things. We are one magnetic case away from having like the Russian nesting slipcase deal. If you had like a limited edition slipcase and then the limited edition slipcase plus magnetic box, you could make easily an extra $10 per unit from psychos like me who are just, yeah, I'll pay for slipcover, slipcase, magnet, slip box. Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely pay a premium to have extra cardboard. Are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely. I'd do a damn backflip. So, I mean, like, look, you guys already know about me. I I am into packaging. I like collecting limited editions. This is not something I'm ashamed to admit, but even I can admit that the double slip is kind of silly. Like the slipcase with the slip cover, like this. It strikes me like a little bit of overkill. Like Arrow doesn't do this. Arrow does something else that's a little bit psychotic in that they put their whole rigid slipcase with a slip cover that goes outside of it. It's like Vinegar Syndrome is sort of the opposite. It's got like a slip cover that goes inside the slipcase. Arrow does the opposite. They give you a slipcase, but then they give you the O card that goes around the whole rigid cardboard box, which to me is also psychotic. But I do think it is a little bit overkill, in my opinion. And that goes for the Iconoscope. I mean, I think they were trying to go a little overboard with the Iconoscope, do something a little bit different by tweaking the VSA packaging model, and what you have is something that's impossible for people to open. A lot of people are online complaining about how difficult that thing is to open, and I don't really blame them. It does just feel weird to, like, you know, you got to take your movie out of like multiple, like I'm stacking up the slipcase and then the slip cover and then the plastic case just to put the disc in, and my wife is like, is it in yet? Yes, honey, it's in. You don't feel that? Taking off the slip cases and slip covers and shit. I don't even lock my guns up this well. Just leave that shit out. Anyway, all this talk of packaging, as well as something like the Great Silence selling out very, very quickly online, of course, has led to complaints on the internet. Of course, you've got scalpers who are selling this thing. Look at this. Look at that. My homeboy, 4K Tent Revival, my homeboy Brad, sent me that, showing people paying over $200 for this. And it sort of feels like the Keep all over again. People were paying ridiculous amounts for the Keep, despite the Keep selling something like 12,000 copies, something obscene. The Great Silence was 2,000 copies. Clearly, they could have sold 4,000 or 5,000 copies, and I hope they're kicking themselves over not producing that many, because you know, that's a couple extra bucks per unit times 2,000 or 3,000 units they certainly could have sold. Oh well, the fact that you got people selling this thing on the internet for 200 bucks, 215 bucks, 225 bucks is kind of insane. And I will say that, you know, if you're a scalper, burn in hell. Also, how many of these things do you have to sell in order to like make rent? I mean, you could sell 10 of these things at 200 bucks a pop or 215 bucks a pop, and all you've made is 2,000 to 2,150. You're not even making mortgage selling 10 of these things. I mean, hopefully you're scalping a lot of other shit. That's not a lot of money to make to sacrifice your eternal soul and burn in hell. The movie monk says, the Bishop of Bulmus says, you are going to burn for that one, son. There's only so much I can absolve you for. And scalping is not one of those things I can forgive. It's a mortal sin, and you are going to have to pay the penance for that, motherfucker. But it brought up the amount that this thing, the sickening amount that this thing is selling for, has brought up some discussion on the internet about people talking about, you know, the state of collecting in the current year of our Lord. That, you know, a movie like this, the standard edition is probably about $35. And if this thing sells for 200, then that tells you that the deficit is about 165 bucks. You know, that you could get the standard edition, which is just the disc, no slipcover, no slipcase, no booklet. You can get that for 35 bucks. The movie, the most important part, you can get the movie, which is the most important part, for 35 bucks, or you could pay an extra 165 and get the cardboard and stuff too. So there were a few folks online on the Blu-ray.com's forums who were saying, well, isn't that some shit? Doesn't that say something about the state of the modern collector? I felt personally attacked that they were talking about how psychopathic we are, that we like slipcovers and such, but that the slipcover, the cardboard, the materials, all of the print stuff that really, in the grand scheme, you know, how much is the cardboard really worth? How much is a booklet really worth? $165? No. But that people were saying, you know, the value of the cardboard stuff is greater than the value of the thing that you really want. And I admit, for a minute, I thought, yeah, that is kind of fucked up that the movie's worth 35 bucks, but the whole package is worth 200, which means the cardboard shit is worth roughly, I don't know, 4 or 5 times as much as the movie itself. But then I also thought, well, these limited editions are limited, right? That's why they become scarce and sell for a lot of money. It's because the company's not making any more of them. The standard edition, they'll print until the cows come home. They'll make as many of those as they sell. So of course, the thing that's more scarce and more rare, they only made 2,000 of these cardboard doodads. They're going to make however many countless thousand of the movie itself. Yeah, the movies are growing from trees like crab apples, and the cardboard stuff is limited. You got to find somebody who's willing to part with it. I still think it's a shitty way to make money. I mean, yeah, I could sell this for 200 bucks on eBay tomorrow. It's still sealed, right? See that? That's still sealed. Oh shit. Anyway, I could probably still get 200 bucks for this. But, you know, 200 bucks doesn't, like I said, it doesn't even make the rent. My kids eat more than 200 bucks a week in groceries. It's just not life-changing enough for me to want to go through all the trouble of like sending this thing to Oregon or something like that after selling it on eBay and giving eBay 15%. So fuck it, I'm keeping my great silence. If you nerds missed it, I am very sorry. I do hope you get a chance to grab this thing for less than 200 bucks. Don't spend 200 bucks on it though. That's silliness. Anyway, thanks to these fools for being patrons. Thanks to you fools for watching this thing. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Adios. Deuces, motherfuckers. I'm gonna drink the rest of this beer for my patrons here. God damn it, that rhymed. I didn't mean to do that. That was silly. I feel dumb now. I probably should cut this part.